Now, last episode, I left you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Well, kind of. So I didn't quite want to show you what the upstairs looked like on this building. But as you can see behind me, I did do quite a bit of decorative work, as I was kind of tired of the house looking, well, rather plain. So I did add some decorations like a pot and a couple of lanterns and a couple of flower boxes, and well, even more flower boxes and lanterns. But I was also left with a gift, if you can call it a gift. That is a poisonous spider spawner, and I now have, well, not even a spawner. This is a trial spawner, and I was left with some cave spiders apparently to clean up. They've kind of wiggled their way into other places. But yes, a trial spawner? How did this even get moved? What? I thought these were unmovable. Wait, is it carry on striking again? I think it's carry on striking again. No way this is actually going to empty contents at the end of a wave, is it? No way. But yeah, the upstairs has been worked on a little bit, and I have started to decorate quite a bit, which I will show you once the trial spawner is done. Oh my goodness, it did drop some loot. It dropped some bread. Can this be? Oh my goodness, it can be picked up. Where do I even put this thing? Like, I don't want cave spiders spawning in the base. You know what? I might actually just take this and tuck it down under here for now. I'm sure that won't bite me later. Now, today is technically episode 10, and it would normally be world download day for just about any other series. But because we are on a server, it is a lot harder to share world downloads. So instead, what I'll be doing is for anyone, no matter if you're a supporter or not, when I make schematics in this world, I'll be sure to share them in the general channel and they will be pinned. For example, the windmill that I just made, that is also going to be there. So you can find that. And any other major thing that I will be making into a schematic and using, I will definitely share with you guys. So it's just my way of saying thank you for clicking that subscribe button. Now to show off the upstairs. I did put a lot of work into the upstairs area to make it look rather nice as just a nice cozy bedroom. And let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I added some decoration. I have room right here to potentially add some power for a mixer that is over here. I don't know, this is something I have planned in the future to sort of run power through all of my buildings. So I have gone ahead and added some chain conveyors. Can't support them just yet, but I do have them available down the road. I also went ahead and added a train track right on top of the step here. I think that looks really, really nice, especially against the weathered window, as it has about the same color texture as the rail, which fits really, really nice. And the clock right here, there's even the little bell on the inside. Yes, with the item frame that shows the time. Just beautiful. Just a bunch of little things along with a bed, and just things to kind of decorate the sidewalls. And this is a broken trial spawner that I think Stam put over here, and it was in here originally, but it didn't work or anything like that. I think this is one that he moved with a cart contraption, which apparently you can do, but it breaks the trial spawner, whereas if you pick it up with carry on, it doesn't break it, which is kind of interesting, honestly. So now I have a fully functioning workshop house, and I also now have a track factory, an iron farm. I mean, honestly, we are really progressing along here. Now, I do have some pretty big plans for today. I'm talking about like some way to get some sustainable food, like some really good sustainable food, like steak, for example, and then also possibly go hunting for ancient debris today, and maybe even getting ourselves a smithing template. That sounds like a big adventure, and I would really love to get one. That would be great. And yes, it is a big task, and definitely gonna have to wait till next episode, even though I thought it was gonna happen this episode. But I don't know, there's just something kind of looming over my shoulder at the moment. I just can't quite figure out what it is. I mean, it can't be an IOU Union, whatever that may be. I honestly have no idea what in the monstrosity is going on here. Anyways, what could this possibly be down here? I mean, I have what's an IOU Union? Who even thinks of things like this? What could this possibly mean? I mean, I literally just stole the JoJo's soul recently. I have no idea. Welcome to the IOU Union. Have you been scammed out of access to items, resources, by means of selling your soul? Then you've come to the right place. Have you been lured into signing away your valuable time and probably your life? False promises of a handful of iron and the lustrous wiggle of a hand crank? Then this is the place you need to be. All right. Have you given literally everything just for the supposed rights to land where you wanted to build a starter base? Hey, now, come on now. That's part of being a landowner, my friend. Oh, this is the place for you. Foxy Hotel has your back. Here at the IOU Union, we strive to make sure there's fairness and equality for all players on the server. So, while some of the players seem to think that they demand a lifelong servitude for empty promises, goods, and services they probably don't even own in the first place, I'm here to say no. That's not okay. Have you accidentally promised your life for unwanted... Wait, I've already done that bit. Foxy Hotel hereby pledges to take on your debt with no strings attached. You'll maintain access to anything you've used an IOU for without any risk. Just let Foxy Hotel know that you wish to transfer your IOU to Foxy Hotel and your debt is as good as gone. Sound too good to be true? It really does. Did you sign away your life just to get one step ahead? Did you yearn to skip the early game so bad you put your soul on the line? Then this is where you need to be. So yes. Wait, Foxy just skipped over the strings attached part. I'm confused here. Wish to transfer all of your IOU debt to Foxy Hotel? Then you'll be free. No charge, no strings, no worry. I don't think that's how IOUs work, Foxy. It's not. It's strings 100% attached and binded to their soul. It was non-transferable, my friend. I don't know what you're trying to do here. Hold on. I don't know what you're trying to do here, sir. But believe me, the terms will change if debt is transferred, and I'm sure the comments would love that. What would you guys have Foxy do if that was the case? Things might get a little bit more devious. So yes, I don't know what to think about that. Honestly, I really just wanted JoJo to just be my friend. Yeah, that's the IOU. I mean, as far as I know, but like I said, terms will definitely change. We'll just have to wait and see how JoJo reacts to that. I mean, honestly, my IOU could have just been a friendly gesture. That's all. Like, that's literally all. Just a friendly gesture and just to literally have a contract on the wall. That's it. I mean, nothing held against him whatsoever, but Foxy may regret this decision. But I mean, it would be really hard to get this out of this sealed container. I mean, that's the contract right there. Wouldn't the contract would have to be transferred and have to go through like a strenuous legal process, and there'll be court orders and lawyers involved and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it would just be a lot. I mean, we would have to gather all of the like legal YouTubers, everything right here to make sure this all goes to plan. I mean, and we wouldn't want that to happen, right? So anyways, oh, hold on one second. Now we're back to normal. So yes, today I do have some plans, and I want to first start with the automatic steak farm. That would be a really nice thing to have set up and make surviving a whole lot easier. Now the plans for this little build, it's not going to take too much, just really a deployer, maybe 2 deployers, and a wheat farm. And thankfully we already have the wheat farm sorted out. Right here we have 1.5 thousand wheat, or 1.5 wheat, and we should be able to use that and send this along from our item vault over to some sort of animal breeder. Now to build this farm, of course, I'm going to need to do a little bit more land forming. Some of you really don't like me using the word terraforming. I get it. Land forming, reshaping. I just got to play some dirt. So with all of the landscaping out of the way, I think it's now time to start working on this meat farm. Now, to do this, there's a couple of key things we need to keep in mind, and that's the way that baby mobs and stuff like that are handled. Baby mobs consist of a block in height, whereas a full-size mob, for example, a cow, is just enough to reach up another block. So that means things like a deployer, for example, can interact with the adult mobs if they are placed on the upper side. So this is kind of important when setting up a farm like this, right? So we're going to have to keep that in mind. If a deployer is placed here, it will interact with the adult mobs, but it will not interact with the baby mobs that are on the ground down here. Now, this isn't the only thing, deployers, that are affected by this. Fans are actually affected by this as well. And what I plan on doing is auto cooking the meat. And so that means if we place a fan down here and baby mobs rest down here, they will not be affected by a fan until they grow up into a full-size mob. And I can use this to my advantage. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and start thinking about how we're going to build this thing. So I want the meat to essentially push out this way, or we could even have it going out sideways. Either way is going to work just fine, and I can always change the belt later. But the main design concept, though, needs to be formulated going up. I think that is going to be one of the best ways to handle this. There's a couple of ways you can actually separate adult mobs from baby mobs utilizing some vanilla mechanics. And that is going to involve a trapdoor. So if we keep everything going up in line here, we can think of this whole setup as the baby mobs are going to rest right here on top of the chute. And that means right here, we're going to want a fan. And this fan is going to have a campfire in front of it. So we are going to need to place this a little ways back and keep this all in mind that we're going to be adjusting this as we go. But the dirt can go right back here. Perfect. Fan can go right there because remember, the baby mobs are going to be resting right here, and we are going to have a campfire right here. Now we are also going to have a trap door to prevent the baby mobs from jumping in here, but this should all work so long as we have a campfire. Actually, no, we can put the campfire right here and move this even further, avoiding the whole trap door entirely. Perfect. Okay, so fan in place. When they grow up, they will be affected by this. They will catch on fire. And this kind of is the same as having like a lava blade that is running right here as well. It's just that this actually does cost rotational power. Honestly, a lava blade would probably work just as fine. Now, how do we get baby mobs and separate them from the adults when we use a deployer to breed them? Well, a trapdoor should honestly do the trick. And just by placing a trapdoor here, this will allow the baby mobs to be completely separated. And it's now at this point that I realize I want to bring this whole thing down one block. Now, just like I had said before, the deployer is actually going to matter here because I don't want baby mobs actually setting here and then being hit with basically wheat, which I believe will also go ahead and use it on those baby mobs. So we can actually avoid that by placing the deployer up here. And that will save us a little bit of wheat. This actually has to be placed, I think, one more block backwards. And just like that, basically it's ready to go. Now, this is where we actually need to get wheat from a wheat farm, or we can even build another farm over here exclusively for this. Now, getting this whole thing powered up, I have one gear ratio. That's going to be probably more than enough. This is being powered with a vertical gearbox that is just connected with some cogwheels here. Could have used chain drives, but honestly, cogwheels are so much cheaper. And yeah, just one water wheel is able to easily power this entire setup. A little bit of glass decoration, and right here we have the foundation of what is going to be a beautiful mob farm. So I guess without further ado, we should probably grab a few cows and get this right into the mob farm. I promise you this is not as pleasant for me as it probably is for you. But with the trapdoor set up, they should rest perfectly on the trapdoor, not going to fall in or anything like that. But the baby mobs will fall right through the trapdoor. It is such a nice little setup, and we have a little bit of control here. We can close the trapdoor until we get a nice supply of cows for the actual breeding process as well. So now, armed with a handful of wheat, I should be able to supply this with that handful of wheat. And you can see this is going to now start, well, doing the thing. Now, I've also got to start thinking about how am I going to get wheat to this farm? And that's where I think just a simple belt line is going to have to do the trick. As much as I would love to use packages, I just have a feeling that belts is going to be a little bit, well, easier to control for this setup. Well, I love the chain conveyors. It's just the fact that the chains just I mean, they're bulky, and then they'll just like, you'll have just chains everywhere. Really want to use those for like specialty cases, I think. But right here should get the job done if I have a belt that runs all the way down to ground level here, and then I clear out a little bit of land. I think what we can do is we can run a belt from here all the way up to this, because belts can travel about 16 blocks, give or take. And then we can place a funnel right here to collect, or not filter, to collect the items. If I can get that to work correctly. There we go. Boop. Come on, let me place it on here. Okay, here we go. Hold on. There we go. So yes, I do want to clear this out. I want to have this looking a little bit nice. And basically making sure that there's no blocks underneath it. Even though I guess I could use some casings on here. That makes it look really nice. But this is the hole that we are basically going to be running a belt through right here. So a shaft on this side, and making sure I go all the way out to here if I can, which I don't think I'll be able to fully make this. But I think having a belt run into this corner right here is going to be the only way that we can actually get this to rotate correctly without having like a bunch of random belts. Now, unfortunately, this belt section is going to be a little bit too long, so I will add a new shaft. But transferring the power from one belt to another is one of the easier things that we could be doing right now. Because to transfer the power from one belt to another, just a simple in-case chain drive is one of the best ways to do it. Now, I do want to give this all some power, some really slow power as well. I don't want this running really fast. And we can get this whole belt line spinning with just a few water wheels, or just a water wheel really, on the lowest setting. This going this fast, more than fine. And so now I just got to carry this rotational power over here. And one of the better ways to do this and guarantee that you're going to be sending this correctly is by extending the outside belt. For example, this one right here, and you can use a regular belt on it. And if you right click on this belt, you should be able to extend that belt out one. And this is perfect because once you've done this, just placing a gearbox in this corner guarantees that this is going to be then spinning in the correct direction. This side, on the other hand, not going to be as easy to send that rotational power, I will say. But it should be easily doable though with a chain drive. And I think we extend that chain drive over one more, give ourselves a little bit of space, and with a little bit of rotation, just like that, I think a gearbox gets it spinning in the right direction. So there we go. So now this is leading everything, well, including the things we don't want, directly into our funnel up here. I definitely want to grab those. Don't you go into that funnel. Oh my goodness, it did. Now there's something I didn't actually know. This can hold more than one item. I don't remember that being the case, but apparently it can. It can hold multiple things. That's good to know. Interesting though. So now the finishing touch is going to be just simply making sure wheat is the thing that is going into our farm. And we could set this limit down a little bit lower. That'll fill the belt line up and probably not drain it as fast. But we'll say, hey, only send in sets of 8. Yeah, that could work. And with that done, this thing is definitely now automatic because it is going to constantly send wheat to our cows. The cows are then going to breed. They're going to grow up. The babies, once we have enough in here, we're going to have the trapdoor drop down. So the babies will fall down. They will grow up. They will get caught on fire. They will go through the chute and we will have fresh meat waiting right there. Well, cooked meat. Now, before turning everything on, I want to go ahead and get my item vault. This is what's going to store everything. And then we're going to control what's connected to the item vault by, of course, using a stock ticker. And now, as if you haven't seen enough of this to be able to get that all linked up, I will go ahead and place my stock link on top. And the stock ticker can go connected to this really anywhere. And then the blaze burner, perfect, right here. So we can see the contents inside of the actual vault. So to finish this whole thing off, there we go. We now have an andesite funnel, which will allow the dropped items that the mobs create to go right inside here for storage. But I'm not done yet because I do need to decorate this. So cue another time lapse. So perfect. After that little bit of building, I now need to start decorating a little bit. And this is where I want to get a little bit more intricate. And I've been really enjoying this whole process of like building and then like really detailed decorating these small projects and like utilizing some of the new create features. For example, we can use the scaffold and place on top of here some of this red tablecloth, which I think fits really well with the design that I want to go with here. And so I can now place like meat, for example, and stuff like that once we start generating it, which I just opened the trap door, by the way. So now that we have all these cows, they should produce the babies. They go down here and we're eventually going to start building up some meat in here. Then we can place some of it on this table, for example. Now for the interior, I don't have a lot of space to work with, but I think I could add like some shelving. For example, I can place a little bit of this here and make it feel kind of homey-ish in here, nice and cozy. And you can use, for example, some doors and you can make a really nice like meat cellar. So we just have to place in some campfires like this and place, definitely put them out for sure. We don't want the house to burn down, and some trap doors on the top to seal the deal. And you have yourself a nice little cabinet in here. And what we can do is we can leave one door open to kind of just show that there's stuff here. And once we get some raw meat or any meat at all, we can just simply put it on the shelf. It's going to make it look really nice. And then over here, we can add like a little work table, and I can even chop through this. And I need to figure out maybe a cutting board, like a pressure plate, or even better, we can place like a saw in. Oh, that's going to look kind of nice. Yeah, like a little saw right here. I was also trying to think like what would kind of look like maybe meat and bones. Like I have a feeling though I could maybe replace this right here with like a bone block. Ooh, that seems a little bit too much. I think I'm still going to stick with a shaft for this right here, but I can have some decoration like around. So I was thinking, for example, the crimsite. If I go ahead and I place, for example, like this out here, it kind of looks like meat, and with an item frame on this side and this side, we might be getting it to kind of look like ham. Not really though. But I mean, with the bone sticking out, I mean, now it's starting to look like it. And I mean, throw in some netherrack. Ooh, this is starting to look like we have some carcasses building up. And I was also thinking that we could possibly set up like a little campfire area, like right here, for example, and then on that campfire have a cauldron on top of it. Ooh, and we can kind of make this look like we're cooking stuff. Now I'm trying to come up with a clever way to make this look like it's suspended. Ooh, and using like the rail actually fits in quite nice here. And with a few girders basically going up like this and some weathered blocks. I mean, we could do weathered blocks there, but the girders can't go in. What if I just do girders all the way up and then bridge this over? Will this go over? Oh, that right there. Okay. So I think that might be the call right there. That's looking pretty good. And a little bit of coarse dirt decoration later. So I think this whole area is really starting to come together again. I mean, just the more stuff I add, the more I'm falling in love with this world. And this is just the beginning, right? This is just the beginning of this whole thing. So yes, I have this little area here. I could even use this, you know, add a little bit of a walking path like that. And beautiful. I mean, this is just, this is all flowing together. I'm loving it. Now, I do have other plans for today. I do want to go and try and get myself a smithing template, if at all possible. That's going to be a really tough challenge, I think, finding a treasure bastion and then looting that bastion. Well, assuming that nobody else has also done that. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. Now, before I go on that journey, I think an ender chest, it's about time I probably make one. That way I can go ahead and actually store my shulker boxes in here, give myself a little bit more space, allowing me to have even more storage, and then make sure I use my silk touch pick to pick this up, and we can take it with us. Now, while I was packing myself and getting myself up and ready, I just realized I am probably not going to have enough time in today's episode to be able to fully experience this journey. So I was thinking, we did a lot of building today and some time lapses. I think this is going to have to be it for today's episode. I mean, and it's also going to give me some time because I really need to let this start working, which it has been working. You can see right here, there's the fruits of our labor. Look at that actually working, producing not only the actual meat that we need, which is beautiful, the steak, but it's also producing leather. And I think this is from when it was actually just crushing the adults up here before I opened it up. But now the trapdoor is open, you can see the baby mobs are down here. They will grow up into adults. Of course, they are not harmed while they are babies. That would be awful. That would be absolutely awful. But you can see they do grow up into adults, and then they are perfectly fine and produce steak for us. So yeah, I think next episode we are gonna have to push towards the ancient debris and netherite tier of our gear. That way I can also make myself a back tank, and it's going to make my life a little bit easier mining inside of the nether. I would really like to do that, but I'm so afraid of lava, and thankfully we get some protection from lava very, very soon once we upgrade our back tank, get ourselves a netherite helmet, and many of the other cool gear that Create offers. I want to wear all of that. So with that, I want to bid you guys farewell. Hopefully you enjoyed this build, and well, if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ring that beautiful notification bell as well. Also, be sure guys to comment down below, what would you like to see me do in the future? I'm taking all of those suggestions and I'm going to compile them into a nice list, and I'll have some ideas for the future, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So be sure to join my Discord, link down in the description below, and also might as well join the Discord as well that's listed down there for the actual SMP. If you want to discuss SMP related topics, of course, that's a great place to do it as well. And guys, with that, it's now time for me to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to, if I can get it in here right, thanks out to none other than Farah. Thank you so much, by the way, for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and absolutely going above and beyond. You absolute boss. Thank you so much for your amazing support. And if you guys are interested in supporting me as well, you can of course find that all handled in my Discord, or you can become a YouTube member here as well. There's actually many ways to support, all of them, like I said, linked down in the description below. You guys are what make these videos even possible. So I do appreciate you guys very, very much. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.